Hey folks, I'm going to tell you what I hate about multiple offers and then get into the latest home prices and insights for Peel and Durham region for week ending March 22, 2023. Multiple offers, or let me rephrase that, a selling strategy that has a price and then offers are reviewed on a certain date. That's really what I'm talking about, where you have offer night and everybody expects that there's going to be some sort of competition on offer night. There's 3 times that this type of pricing strategy or selling strategy makes sense. And one of those times is, for whatever reason, it's difficult to price the home. It could be difficult because there's some sort of unique feature to your home, or there maybe hasn't been a sale in a long time in that neighborhood, so it's genuinely difficult to put a price on the home. So you put it at a reasonable price, and on offer night, you're going to know what are buyers prepared to pay for this home. That's one time it makes sense. Another time that it makes sense is if the seller absolutely cannot afford to be on the market for a certain amount of time that's too long. And 1 week could be too long. So they need a quick sale, in other words. Put the home for sale, offer nights in 5 days, in 1 week from now. But you know in 5 days and 1 week, no matter what, you're going to be sold. You'll take the highest number. That's it. That's another time that kind of selling strategy makes sense. And the third time it makes sense is when, look, you can get a pretty good handle on where the price should probably be for that property, but demand is so strong. Could be in general or could be for that pocket, but demand is so strong you have a hard time getting a handle on how strong the demand actually is. So you have an offer night and you're going to know what the demand is and what somebody's prepared to pay for your home. I'll tell you what drives me absolutely crazy. There's a home that, let's say you as the listing agent or the seller, you do your homework and you figure out, you know, this property should probably sell for 1.5. You list the home at 1.3. And you're thinking, you know, 100, 200,000, 250 over asking. In this market right now, you've done some research and you know that that's what people are spending over asking right now. That's what buyers are buying for. 100, 200 over asking is kind of the norm. So that's how you price it. Should sell for about 1.5. You list it at 1.3. You have a reasonable amount of showings. Offer night, there's a 3, 4, 5, 6 offers. You get the price that you want. Everybody's happy. Here's the part, though, that really drives me crazy. That same house that should probably sell for 1.5, it gets listed not at 1.3, it gets listed at $999. This is the part that drives everybody crazy. Because at $999, it's not like buyers have changed their mind and thinking, oh, okay, I'm going to spend $500,000 over asking. The majority of buyers are still thinking, wow, 100, 200,000 over asking, that's a good offer. So what do? You've got people, buyers that have a budget of 1.1, 1.2 going to see this house. Not 1 buyer, 2 buyer, 3 buyers, hundreds. You've got a ton of people, hundreds of showings on this house. The agent, the listing agent, he's excited or she's excited. They're bragging to their client, the seller. The seller's like, wow, all these people going through, this is great. But 90, 95% of them cannot afford to buy that house. That's not smart to me. Here's what the worst part is. Those few that can afford to buy this house, they're showing up to a house that many times is now trashed. Think about it. You, as the seller, you've prepared this home. You've taken time to declutter, maybe paint, destage, set it up, picture perfect, magazine ready, And now you've got a stampede. In 3 days, 100 showings. The buyer that can afford to buy this home is being trampled on by everybody else who can't. People are tripping over themselves. You see on the hardwood, you see the mud, the footsteps, mud or water, or it's just, the home gets trashed, walls get scratched, things go missing sometimes. It's a mess. Why? Most people can't afford to buy that house anyways. And what, you're going to get 20, 30 offers? Only 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 offers actually matter. Look, to anybody who listen, this is my advice. It's not always about the volume of people going through the house. It's about the right volume, the right people that can afford to spend top dollars. That's where your marketing should be attracting. That's what the pricing strategy should be attracting. That's where all the advertising efforts should go. I saw very recently an advertising on Instagram. It was the video that said, this is what $399,000 buys you in Toronto. And you look at the video, it's a beautiful 1-bedroom condo. A few days later, that condo sold for $610,000. So the advertising is wrong, it's misleading. That's not what $399,000 buys you, that's what $610,000 buys you. So why should somebody with a budget of $400,000, $450,000 go see this condo when they got no chance of buying it? That's my point. Get the right eyeballs through your house, not the wrong eyeballs. If you think this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. If you like this content and get value from it, please subscribe. Let's get into the numbers. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Below this video, in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you. This way I'll know ahead of time. I'll make sure my schedule's organized so we can talk about whatever's on your mind. And just to add a bit to what I was saying before the intro song, many properties that have an offer night as a pricing strategy in Mississauga and Brampton in particular, many more are not selling on offer night. Let's get into the numbers. Here we have a quick summary. This is average sold prices for detached properties only. We got blue up here in Mississauga. Prices have been generally going up. At the bottom here in orange, we have Durham. Now for Durham, I'm using Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby as my Durham sample. Prices have been generally over the last few weeks going up. Brampton in green here in the middle, prices have been relatively flat over the last few months. It's like 3 different markets and different activities going on in each area. We're going to start off with Mississauga, detached properties. 43 detached properties were sold. 43, if you look back, although it's 2 less than the previous week, 43 is one of the better weeks that we've had. It's not the top week, but 47, 46, 45 has been our top week since the middle of or the end of June last year. You know, that's going back several months. That's a pretty respectable week as far as sales go. So 43 were sold. 6 of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price jumped up from the previous week to $1,515,000. $1,515,000 is 14% lower than where the average sold price was a year ago. The median price of $1,325,000 is 18% lower than where the median price was a year ago. If we kind of look at more of try to spot the trend here, the dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average. And I have it for average price and for median price. And both have been behaving the same. Since the end of January, early February, prices for median and average have been trending up. And now it's seen since the beginning of March they've kind of been going the other way. They're trending down slightly right now. Of the 43 that sold, 37% sold at list price or more. Now that percentage has been coming down. We're at 40, then 38, now 37%. And this is where I'm saying that we're seeing it. As a realtor, I see it in the field when I'm working with my clients. I can see that they have an offer night, it doesn't sell, they get relisted at a different price. We see this happening more and more now, especially in Mississauga and Brampton. Not so much in Durham. That's a whole different area. We'll get to Durham in a second. 84 were listed, which is kind of in line to what we've been listing over the last 3 weeks. Months of inventory since the beginning of the year has been coming down. It's declining. 1.4 is the current months of inventory for week ending March 22. And as months of inventory go down, I've said it a million times, prices tend to go up. Here's Brampton. 68 detached properties were sold. And if we look back, 68, the last time we did more than that was first week of June, which was 71. So 68 as far as sales go, pretty good week. We've got to go all the way back to June to find a week where we sold more. 68 were sold. No properties were sold at $2 million or more. Average sold price is $1,213,000. But since the end of January, we've been hovering around just slightly over the 1.2 million mark. It's almost a straight line. 1,213,000 is 25% lower than where the average sold price was a year ago. And the median price of 1,177, 1,177 is 23% lower than where the median price was a year ago. And similar to Mississauga, prices went up a bit the first week or so, the last week and the first week of February, but since the middle of February, median and average price has been quite flat. It hasn't moved that much in either direction. Of the 68 that did sell, only a quarter, 25% sold at list price or more. I say only a quarter because there's lots of properties going out with an offer night. They're just not working out always, and that percentage is down. We were at 39%, 29%, 36%. We're now at 25% selling at list price or more. 112 were listed, and that's one of our better weeks for listings of detached properties in Brampton. Months of inventory, it's low, 0.9 months of inventory, and it has been coming down, and I would expect months of inventory this low, prices to be going up. We're not seeing prices going. That would be a normal behavior. As months of inventory goes down, prices go up. They're not going up. Some things we just can't always explain. Here's Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby. Detached properties only. 45 detached properties were sold. No properties sold at list price. Sorry, no property sold at $2 million or more. Let me go back. Average sold price is $1,163,000, a little bit lower than what it was the previous week. 1,163 is 12% lower than where the average sold price was a year ago. The median price of $1,122,000 is 14% lower than where the median price was a year ago. So Durham is kind of acting the opposite of Mississauga and Brampton. Mississauga and Brampton, the first few weeks of the year, first couple months, prices were going up, and now for March, prices are kind of dipping down a bit. Durham, it's the opposite. The first month or so of the year, prices were coming down. Now they're going up. Both median and average prices are increasing, and Durham is very, very competitive. There was a property we went to go see with one of our buyer clients. They had 41 offers on this property. It was absolutely insane. We didn't participate in that, but I get the updates of how many offers. Nuts. 41 offers. Of the 45 that sold, 64% sold at list price or more. So far more properties are being sold at list price or more in Durham than in Mississauga and Brampton. 82 were listed, which is a big week for listings in the Durham region and 0.7 months of inventory. And I put an exclamation mark, like, what's going on? 0.7, it went up a couple, then 0.7, 0.6, 0.6, 0.7. 9 is the average days on market. Durham region, it's on fire right now, basically. Here are condos for all of Peel region. 44 condos were sold. No condo sold at $1 million or more. Average sold price down a little bit from the previous week, now sitting at $602,000. And for the last 2 months, average price has been hovering, it seems, around the $600,000 mark, but it's pretty flat. $602,000 is 19% lower than where the average price for condo apartments was a year ago. The median price of $596 is 16% lower than where the median price was a year ago. Prices both for average price and median price gradually, since the beginning of February, last week of January, gradually on an incline, gradually going up, not aggressively, but prices are definitely higher here than what they were 2 months ago. Of the 44 that sold, 27% sold at list price or more, and of 79 were listed, and months of inventory coming down, sitting at 1.6 months of inventory. Look, you know, when you look at these months of inventory, 0.9, 0.7, 1.4, like, you would expect prices to, because these are extreme seller's market type of months of inventory, you would expect prices aggressively going up. That's not happening. For sure, the higher interest rates have a lot to do with that, why prices are not through the roof. There has been a huge adjustment in price over the course of last year, but still competitive out there. And there's a scarcity of properties to go see, and buyers are jumping in and buying and competing. It's nice to see more listings coming out there, because it's nice that there's more choice, and hopefully the more listings can balance things out a little bit. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.